வணக்கம். கோர்ஸ் கான்செப்ட்ஸ். Second unit concepts are identified and presented in this video. Managerial talent. Managerial talent is the ability to succeed the goals by providing happiness and wealth to the employers and employees. Managing talent is increasingly challenging in the midst of globalization and a recovering economy. Now, we will see some of the aspects of managerial talent. Companies willing to invest in talent development record a higher business performance than others. Critical ingredients of managerial talent in decision making: unique vision thinking, rely on strengths, compensate for weakness, and meet cognitive ability, trust our intuition, being wise, optimism is desirable. These are all aspects related to managerial talent, and in brief, it refers the ability of managerial people to succeed the wealth and happiness to both employer and employees. Now, what are all the four areas of people's talent? First one, creators. Creators means implementing business model which distinguishes its value proposition. Second one, ambassadors. Ambassadors represent the organization public face and are responsible for customer experience. Craft master ensures the quality, timeliness, and cost effectiveness of an organization. Then drivers keep business running, assembly line operators, back office agents, administrative assistants. So these are all the four areas of people's talent in managerial effectiveness. Stewardship. Stewardship begins with ensuring individual well-being, transitions into a focus on team effectiveness, and ultimately leads to a need for institutional level considerations. According to Merriam-Webster, stewardship is the conducting, supervising, or managing of something, especially the careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care. Stewardship role: it is the responsible allocation, management, and oversight of capital to create long-term value for clients and beneficiaries. It will lead to sustainable benefits for the economy, the environment, and society. In business, it means being responsible beyond the individual or company and in the long term beyond one's lifetime. In accounting, the way in which their capital employed has been invested. In auditing, stewardship is about the responsibility of the directors to manage the resources entrusted to them by shareholders. In brief, it refers responsibility of ensuring the well-being of employees and building effective team for the success of the organization. Next, micromanagement. Micromanagement refers managing especially with excessive control or attention. Micromanagement is a negative term that refers to a management style characterized by extremely close supervision and control on an individual's workload and output. Here, no decision-making power given to employees, involved serious workplace bullying, and relationship is a dysfunctional parent adult relationship. The organization may experience continuous attrition if this is followed. A micromanager is a manager who closely observes the work of their team members. Micromanagers often have good intentions to improve the performance of everyone on the team. However, their behavioral tendencies can impact their team's ability to develop their own strong leadership behaviors. Larry Ellison of Oracle Corporation stated that avoid micromanagement for better managerial effectiveness. In brief, micromanagement refers exercising excessive control and supervision over the employee to accomplish the goals. Balanced Scorecard, in short form it is BSC. It was originally developed by Dr. Robert Kaplan and Dr. David Norton as a framework for measuring organizational performance using a more balanced set of performance measures. They have narrated like this: the balanced scorecard retains traditional financial measures, but financial measures tell the story of past events, an adequate story for industrial age companies for which investments in long term capabilities and customer relationships were not critical for success. These financial measures are inadequate, however, for guiding and evaluating the journey that information age companies must make to create future value through investment in customers, suppliers, employees, processes, technology, and innovation. This is narrated by these two gentlemen. In brief, a balanced scorecard is a performance metric used in strategic management to identify and improve various internal functions of a business and their resulting external outcomes. It is used to measure and provide feedback to organization. Now we will see managerial skills. What are managerial skills? Managerial skills are the knowledge and ability of the individuals in a managerial position to fulfill some specific management activities or tasks. This knowledge and ability can be learned and practiced. They also can be acquired through practical implementation of required activities and tasks. Each skill through learning and practical experience can be developed as a manager. The managerial skill help to keep high efficiency in utilizing the resources and technology. In brief, it refers the knowledge and skills required to utilize the resources and technology effectively and efficiently. Managerial motivation. It refers the motivation of executives or managerial personnel. Motivation of the manager is the strongest when he is realizing his potential, becoming what he has the capacity and desire to become. According to Target Training International, that is TTI, values and drivers motivates executives. There are six. 1. Utilitarian or economic. Here, the primary motivation driver is money. Theoretical. Here, top motivators are theoretical values and a drive for learning and knowledge. Social or altruistic. Here, motivated by altruism and a drive to be helpful to others. Individualistic or political. Here, driven by power and therefore has a desire for business success. Next, traditional or regulatory. Here, primarily driven by a desire for order. Aesthetics. Here, driven by form and harmony. These are all the 6 values and drivers that motivates executives according to TTI, that is Target Training International. The motivation of managers is dependent on 1. Interpersonal competence, 2. the opportunity to work toward the meaningful goals, third on the existence of appropriate management system. Managerial remuneration. In simple term, it refers the compensation paid to the managerial job. Normally, it is based on the contract of employment with the organization. According to the provisions of Section 197 of the Companies Act 2013, the overall remuneration paid by the public company to its directors, including managing director and whole-time director and its managers in relation to the financial year shall not exceed 11% of the net profits of the company. Normally, the Companies Act has detailed provision for the managerial calculation. Now we will see what is the meaning of selection. Selection is the process of differentiating between applicants in order to identify and hire those with greater likelihood of success in a job. It is selecting the right person for a right job at a right time. So here the focus is more on who is having the greater likelihood of success when they are appointed for a particular job. Now we will see what is the meaning of recruitment in brief. It is a process of attracting individuals on a timely basis in sufficient numbers and with appropriate qualifications and encouraging them to apply for jobs in an organization. Next, we will see executive or management development. Executive or managerial development or management development refers the overall development in a person, not only for improvement in job performance but also improvement in knowledge, personality, behavior of the executive and focus more on personal growth. There is a simple definition. What does it mean? It is a systematic process of growth and development by which the managers develop their abilities to manage. It is concerned with improving the performance of the manager by giving them opportunity to grow. In brief, it refers the overall development of executives. Managerial or management training. Managerial or management training refers the training of managerial personnel for overall effective management. It is a training activity that focuses on improving an individual's skills as a leader and manager. The training may be on soft skills such as communication and empathy, leadership skills such as development a progressive style to engage employees, etc. Such training may also be on the business side of being manager, such as reporting to senior leaders more effectively, leading performance reviews and talent acquisition. Normally, managers are trained on common management techniques, new techniques, and strategies, decision making skills, innovation and creativity, etc., to ensure success and competitive edge in the changing and the challenging environment. In brief, management or managerial training means training for improving an individual's skills as a leader and manager. Now we'll see training need assessment. What is the meaning of training needs assessment? This is an assessment that looks at employee and organization knowledge, skills, and abilities to identify any gaps or areas of need. Once the training needs are identified, then we need to determine or develop objectives to be accomplished by that particular training. In brief, it is called training needs assessment. Sensitivity training. In 1946, the technique of sensitivity training, that is T group training, was developed. The overall objective of sensitivity training is the development of an awareness or sensitivity to the behavioral pattern of one's self and others. Sensitivity training means placing oneself in the place of someone else and evaluating one's own behavior in that situation and time. Sensitivity training is also known as encounter groups or laboratory training and T groups. It is headed by a passive leader who maintains a psychologically safe environment so that every member feels safe enough to share his thoughts. Members belonging to different cultures, age, gender, and even abilities are encouraged to participate in a free discussion about various issues. It is the mental strength and ability of a person that helps him to understand the emotions of others and manage his own behavior and impulses accordingly. In brief, sensitivity training is a psychological technique in which intensive group discussions and interactions are used to increase individual awareness of self and others. Behavior modeling. Behavior modeling is a training which is widely used for imparting interpersonal skills. It is a common component of many management training programs. It is the act of showing employees how to do something and guiding them through the process of imitating the modeled behavior. Behavior modeling has practical applications for daily work tasks as well as deeper applications for developing company culture. The approach is based on Bandara's social learning theory. There are 5 processes here. 1. Goals and objectives stated. 2. Model managed. 3. Role playing or rehearsal. 4. Reinforcement or feedback. 5. Transfer of learning. Last step is transfer of learning in this 5 process of this training. In brief, it is training for imparting the interpersonal skills. Rewards. Reward is an incentive plan to reinforce the desirable behavior of workers or employees, and in return for their service to the organization, the prime objective of organizations in giving reward is to attract, maintain, and retain efficient, high performing, and motivated employees. Reward management is concerned with the formulation and implementation of strategies and policies to reward employees fairly, equitably, and consistently in accordance with their value to the organization. It deals with design, implementation, and maintenance of reward systems, that is, processes, practices, and procedures that aim to meet the needs of both the organization and its stakeholders. There are 4 P's in rewards. They are 1. Pay, 2. Prizes, 3. Promotion, 4. Punishment. In brief, return for the service of the workers to the organization for the desirable behavior of them in attaining the goals. Fringe benefits. What are fringe benefits? Fringe benefits are the additional benefits offered to an employee above the stated salary for the performance of a specific service. Some fringe benefits, such as social security and health insurance, are required by law, while others are voluntarily provided by the employer. Some of the most common examples of fringe benefits are health insurance, retirement plans, and family and medical leave. Less common fringe benefits might include paid vacation, meal subsidization, commuter benefits, and more. Many companies offer a combination of both common and uncommon benefits to help attract new hires and keep current employees satisfied. Examples of optional fringe benefits include free breakfast and lunch, gym membership, employee stock options, transportation benefits, retirement planning services, child care, education assistance, etc. Next, feedback. Feedback is a planned, systematic intervention in the life of an individual who is capable of choosing the goal and the direction of his own development. Actually, this is the specific meaning. Thus, the purpose of counseling is to help the employee become aware of his own performance, his strengths and weaknesses, opportunities available for performance development, and the threats in the form of technological change, etc. 360-degree feedback is one of the feedback system currently followed in many organizations. Most of the time, the feedback after completing the evaluation is given in the form of a counseling. 360-degree appraisal is basically a multi-rater appraisal and feedback system. In this system, the employee is assessed periodically, normally once in a year or sometimes even in off year, by a number of assessors, including his supervisor, subordinates, colleagues, external and internal customers. Now we will see in brief what is time management. Time management is the process of organizing and planning how to divide your time between the specific activities. It is an act or process of exercising conscious control over the amount of time spent on specific activities to increase efficiency and productivities. Now, what are all the internal time wasters? Poor communication, that may be written or verbal, then procrastination, that is simply postponing the activities, inability to say no, poor prioritizing, inadequate planning, failure to delegate the work. These are all the sum of the internal time wasters. Then external time wasters, that may be visitors. Often when we are getting frequent visitors, this is one of the time waster. Frequent meetings, papers and correspondence, telephone calls, procedures and systems, travels, subordinates. These are all some of the external time wasters. Now we will see career management. In brief, career management can be defined as the process that plans and shapes the progression of individuals within the organization in accordance with the organizational needs and objectives. The outcome of successful career management should include personal fulfillment, work life balance, goal achievement, and financial securities. Then we will see career angers. Career angers. Career angers are distinct patterns of self perceived talents, attitudes, motives, and values that guide and establish a person's career after several years of real world experience and feedback. According to Shane, 8 angles are there. 1. Managerial competence. 2. Technical competence. 3. Security. 4. Creativity. 5. Autonomy. 6. Dedication to a cause. 7. Pure challenge. And 8. Lifestyle. These are all the 8 suggested by Shane. Behaviorally angered rating scale has now become a commonly used methodology to compare the performance of the employees against specific or predefined set of behavior traits which are linked to specific numerical value or rating from scale of 1 to 5. It is used for evaluating individual performance. Bars are designed to bring the benefits of both qualitative and quantitative data to the employee appraisal process by numerical ratings. The behavioral examples used as anchor points are often collected using critical incident techniques, short form CIT, which are procedures used for documenting human behavior that have significance in particular area. Boss technique was originally developed rating scales to judge the performance of personnel. It is often criticized for reliability and leniency error. Now we will see critical incident method. It is one of the method in performance appraisal. It is a method of gathering facts, that is, incidents, from domain experts or less experienced users of the existing system to gain knowledge of how to improve the performance of the individuals involved. It is also used for evaluating individual performance. A critical incident appraisal focuses on the essential behavior that determine whether a task is done well or done poorly. Documentation in this case involves briefly summarizing situations, that is, incidents, that demonstrate either successful or unsuccessful behavior or outcomes. Forced distribution method. It is a multiple person evaluation method in performance appraisal. It is also called forced ranking method, forced choice method, stacked ranking, or bell curve rating. Forced distribution is a form of employee evaluation in which employees are ranked against one another rather than performance standards. It is a rating system that employers use to evaluate their workers. Managers must evaluate each employee usually into one of three categories, that is poor, good, or excellent, or sometimes they are using some other parameters also. It is criticized that it can create undesirable competition or unhealthy rivalry among employees, and it can also lead to resentment and low morale. Here, the reviewer is forced to make a choice among that may be good, poor, or excellent. Next, we will discuss judgmental errors. There are 8 judgmental errors I am quoting here. 1. Primacy effect. It is nothing but rating based on first impressions. Next one is halo effect. It is giving too much significance to one aspect of evaluation. Horn effect. This is the way of rating the negative quality harshly. Leniency effect. It is leniently evaluating. Central tendency. It is rating all the employees as average performers. Stereotyping. It is generalizing and over or underestimating employees. Recency effect. Giving undue weightage to recent occurrence. Spillover or past performance effect. It is simply evaluating only on past performance, that is, without considering what is the current performance. These are all some of the judgmental errors. Thank you.